Shalom. It's Brother Isaiah from the GMS North Carolina. Came back to know the Lord's one of the final lesson. Before we go any further, of all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash. Double honor to the apostles, a great millstone, we're teaching us, we're saying truth according to the Bible well, and peace and blessings to afflict the nation of Israel. Today, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, I want to get into the Lord's one of the final lesson. You can see Business Insider, don't expect, a $5,000 check from Doge. It's really just a spirit. This lesson really isn't about this. Brothers should, be up to date about everything that's going on here, the possibilities of actually getting a check, which is, slim to none. Of course not, in that amount. It's a very large amount, which, they haven't saved enough money to be able to give that large of amount. The reportings of what they have saved, are not, it's being challenged. The actual amount that they have saved is being challenged. What would lead to this $5,000? I believe, can't remember all the math. Blah, blah, blah. But really, I was just wanted to get a picture, for the lesson, and this article kind of popped up. Don't expect a $5,000 check from Doge. You really shouldn't trust your enemy. You shouldn't expect much from your Esau Edom. Who is your enemy? Who here in these last days is really set to take peace from the earth. Whether they start, giving $5,000 checks, which, like I said, brothers should understand, what has to be done. These things have to get passed through Congress and, take time. A lot of this stuff is just, talk about social media, keep people's minds busy. I still haven't personally found a video, going into how DJ Trump is going to cut income tax, or, cut your taxes down and things like that, your federal income tax. I've heard him make mention of the Eternal Revenue Service, but never, in the sense of, back in the old times, how they did it, when the government was much smaller. But I've never seen him actually say out of his mouth. I've seen people interpret things, but I've never actually seen him actually say that, we're going to cut, your federal taxes or your income tax. I've never heard him say that out of his mouth. Now, if a brother has an article, I'll be down to watch it, and I'll retract my saying. But I've never heard him say it. I've just never seen a video. I've once again heard people interpret that's what he says, but he's never actually said that. This is Isaiah 30:1. It says, "Woe to rebellious children, saith the Lord," right? The rebellious children are those who are rebelling against, the order that Yahweh Shema Shai is setting up here in these last days via the servants, the prophets, giving them warning that America will never be great again, right? Telling them and giving them warning that the only thing left for America, is famine, pestilence, more uproars, more dis-ease in the society, where things, are super hyperinflation. That's what's come to Babylon the Great, which economists can argue. They'll say that these checks would cause inflation, which it would in a way, because everyone went had an extra $5,000. These stores, the supply on the resources would dwindle, which would then cause the rise of prices a little bit. But our people, it says, "Woe to rebellious children." Like I said, this isn't really to speak on the whole Doge thing. I just thought it was a fitting title, so we're just gonna keep reading the scriptures in Lord's and Lord's lessons. That's fine. Have tried to do this lesson a couple times, really, because I don't want to speak too much on the whole Doge thing, but I don't want to leave, too much out either. You can find yourself talking for 10 minutes about an article, and then, you only brought out a couple of scriptures. So it says Isaiah 30:1, it says, "Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin." Right? So our people, they want to cover themselves with the way of America, because they believe that America is going to be able to save them, that America is going to be their saving grace, that they're going to be able to pass down generational wealth here, which I saw a video, which, when you see stuff on the internet, unless it comes from Jake, you got to really be skeptical of it. You really got to be skeptical. Sometimes when people see a camera, they get offered some money to do an interview. They really say the most outlandish things. But I saw a little YN. The dude couldn't have been more than 12 years old. He said the hood got everything I want. What did this dude say? He said, as long as I have 8 kids, I can have food stamps. Imagine, how much food stamps I can get with 8 kids. How much stuff that I can buy in the hood. Showing you how gone our people are. But and they trust in this place. It says, verse 2, that walk to go down into Egypt, where our people are walking to go down into Egypt, which modern day Egypt is America. They walk to go down into Egypt for help, for assistance, because they trust in this place. And to speak on this Doge thing a little bit more, I was looking at some of the comments, on some of these, a few TikTok pages. A lot of people don't believe it's going to happen. A lot of people are laughing that people even think it's possible. Which, whether or not they give some type of dividend, that gets passed through Congress, and it's a very small, substantial amount, $200, $100, this, that, and the third, whatever, if that's even, chances are slim to none. But just the talking of it is bringing a lot of, good publicity, to DJ Trump and this character Elon Musk for the next, thing that they bring out, which a lot of these things are happening in stages, because they already, these things are happening in stages, they have a plan to roll out, to bring out this MOT to the B system, this NWO, this new world, start over order that they want to establish down here upon the planet Earth. And our people are going down to Egypt for help, which they don't realize and understand that, Egypt is going to be they're going to be led to their demise. They're going to make this lesson too long, but this is 2 Ezra 15:10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, right? Our people, we're being led as a flock to the slaughter. And that's why the Lord has raised up true shepherds, to show them the correct way, that we might be saved out of the coming destruction that's coming for Babylon the Great, the coming traps that Esau, Edom, your enemy, is setting. I do have some scriptures here. It's a pretty basic lesson, overall, just about not trusting your enemy, about not, leaning upon this system for support, for help, and how the elect of Yahweh Shema Shai would be putting their trust in the Lord. That's why it's so important to put your trust and your faith in Yahweh Shema Shai in these days, because, $5,000 a month in any brother's, will go a long way for any brother in the truth, any brother or sister who believes in Yahweh Shema Shai, as, we live pretty lowly lives here in America. I can pay, that's pretty much monthly expenses, and then some for a lot of bros are, right there. Brothers got kids and stuff, so you got kids, your household a little bit more, but, that could do a lot, but, here it is. We put our trust in Yahweh Shema Shai. When we read Jeremiah 3:23, it says, "Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills." And like I said, we don't care how much money, they offer. You couldn't pay us to live in America, right? You couldn't pay us to live in America. It says, "Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills." The hills represents these smaller governments. "And from the multitude of mountains, mountains represent larger governments. Truly in the Lord our God is the salvation of Israel." Right? So truly salvation, which these dividend checks, would be a form of salvation for some households, for some people. Financial woes is very real right now in Babylon the Great. People can look at that as a way of salvation. But truly in Yahweh Shema Shai is the salvation is gonna come when we shall be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. That's what was promised, to us, via of our Lord Yahweh Shai, who died on the cross for us. And the Heavenly Father Yahweh has risen him up again. And now we are awaiting his return, here in these last days, right? Isaiah 30:2, that thou walk to go down into Egypt, and they have not asked at my mouth. The mouth of the Lord is the prophets, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, right? They want to strengthen themselves in this fiat currency, which, fiat currency, it's destined to fall, it's destined to fail, it can't work. It's not something that would last forever. America was never meant to last forever. So you're strengthening yourselves in a strength that has really been borrowed. Yahweh Shema Shai, ruleth in the kingdoms of men. He has set up over it the bases of men here in these last days, right? And once again, you couldn't pay, brothers to live in America. Truthfully, we have the choice, we'll get the hell out of America. I was looking on social media and just looking, everyone's, they have these passport bros, but really a lot of people have really just left America, and now they're on social media, showing that how their lives is in Thailand and all these, a few other countries, not gonna say every country, but a few of these, countries, these Eastern countries, and just how rent is much cheaper, the cost of living is much cheaper, the people are a lot better, the food is a lot better, and all the downsides of Babylon the Great are not there. You don't have to worry about, fluoride in the water, chemtrails in the air, GMO foods, which, they may have some GMO foods, but come on, you're talking about Babylon the Great. This is the worst place to be, and yet our people, have a heavy spirit of delusion upon them to want to stay here, to trust in this system, to trust in this place. If we could, I'd be looking at those damn videos. I'd be like, damn, I wish I could go to a local supermarket and just have, a bunch of dragon fruit and sour sop and, a bunch of other fruits that I've never even seen at my local grocery store, laying around in abundance, but we're going to get all that in the kingdom of Yahweh Shema Shai, and, that's why we do these lessons, to remind our people that this end-all be-all, here in Babylon the Great is not our rest, like it tells us here in the the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 10, it says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest." So we're supposed to be arising, being quickened by the Spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, waking up, being born again, becoming those new creatures, and departing, from the ways of America, understanding that, America is going to soon be over with. This place is over. This place is ended. It's ended already. When we read about, we can read about, Revelation, the 15th chapter, the sea of glass mingle with fire. It's already happened. The destruction has already happened. It's already written. Therefore, it already happened, right? We're just waiting to live it out in our times. And Lord's willing, we're on those chariots, looking down on the sea of glass of this place burning. Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction, right? That sore destruction, thermonuclear destruction is how this place is going to destroy you. Unless you, rise up out of this place, unless you come to your senses to realize that Yahweh Shema Shai, really, it's not you coming to your senses, I should say, unless, the Lord have mercy upon you. That's all it is. We're all at the mercies of the King, Yahweh Shema Shai, right? And Lord's willing, we continue to stay, in our lot here in these last days of prophets and teachers and believers of Yahweh Shema Shai, following the Lamb wheresoever he goeth, following his voice. My sheep hear my voice, right? Understanding that this, once again, is not our rest, that we shouldn't be getting comfortable here. We shouldn't be getting excited about, news articles and news headings. We shouldn't be getting all pumped up and excited next week if you see $5,000 in your bank account. That shit don't matter. It don't matter. Really, that shit will cause, that has so many repercussions. Everyone will quit their jobs. And it would just be it would be a shit show, truthfully. Then production would slow down. Nobody be working these warehouse jobs. Then people ain't working these warehouse jobs. This, that, and the third. Anyways, let's keep doing this lesson, because I'm not going to speak on that. Other brothers are way more knowledgeable in those topics. But I'm just doing a little studying. But this is Isaiah 30:3. It says, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust of the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Right? So those who have put their trust in here is going to lead to you being confused, you being in a worse off state than you really are. And you can see over the last 5 years, 10 years, brothers would say, who have been around since 2007, brothers to say the goddamn 80s. America has been on a downward spiral for the longest. And the Lord just has this place hanging on, hanging off of a cliff, ready to fall into the to the ocean. Just for the sake of prophecy. They were talking about, listen to this economist, and he was like, we're kicking this can down the road. We're just kicking the can down the road, and eventually we're going to come to a cliff. And, it was actually very comical. It was very funny, because that's exactly where this place is going, and it's going up in flames and thermonuclear destruction. This is Isaiah 10:20. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such are escaped to the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. Right? So the remnant, which, we're part of the hopeful elect, we're hoping to be part of that remnant. Right? We've woken up to what the truth is here in these last days, and we are leaning upon Yahweh Shema Shai, the Holy One of Israel, in truth, according to the sound doctrine that we've been given. And we do believe that this is a sound doctrine. We do believe we have the 100% truth. We do believe that Yahweh Shema Shai is going to come back and deliver us here in these last days, and a standard's going to be lifted up when things get even harder than they are now. How are brothers able to pay their bills now? I don't know. It's Yahweh Shema Shai. How are our bodies still operating and functioning and working? It's Yahweh Shema Shai. All the type of toxins that are in the food, in the air, it's really the Lord that we are not consumed. It tells you that in Lamentations 3, right? Is of the mercy of the Lord that we're not consumed. The only reason why we still kicking here is because of Yahweh Shema Shai. And, It's really the mercy of the Lord. This is Isaiah 36 and 6. Lo, thou trustest in the staff, right? A staff is for support, right? Lo, thou trustest in the staff or support of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, right? If you when you lean, when you put that when you need the most we need that support, for the staff. That's what the point of the staff when you're walking, right? You will lean, put your pressure in the staff. That way it kind of ease, your walking, especially walking long distance. It's almost like having 3 legs. It gives you that support. Carry your body weight a lot easier. It says, wherein if a man lean, it will go through his hand and pierce it, right? So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him, right? So you trust in the system, you're going to be in the worst situation. You're going to be in the worst off situation than when you were when you first, than if you would have never trusted in this man, right? And our people are through. You can make a damn movie long compilation. You can make a 4-hour movie long compilation of just how through our people are on the internet. Folly is set in great dignity here. It's so bad that they pay people hundreds, tens, if not hundreds, to millions of dollars to promote folly all over the internet. And they get paid for it. They get rich and famous for it. And it must be stopped at the end of the day. This is Sirach 12 and 10. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So scripture says to never trust your enemy. That's what this lesson is all about. I just found it pretty fitting, title, of don't expect a $5,000 check from Doge. Like I said, is it out of the realms of possibilities? Sure, they could pass something like that in the lines of peace and safety, then sudden destruction. Cool. They can pass, anything. They can do whatever they want here. Whatever their plans to get people to be down with their system. It does. All right, cool. It doesn't matter. Tomorrow you get $5,000. Cool. What does that mean? Are we still in slavery? Are you still going to be eating the same GMO foods with that $5,000? Chemtrails, in the air? Are you still got to deal with the job and Eve? These people are going to be even more proud. Yeah, man, we got to get the hell out of here. This is Proverbs. This is book of Proverbs, chapter 26. This is Proverbs chapter 26, verse it's like I just had it. Let me see. I wrote it down. 25. Yeah, 25. This is Proverbs chapter 25, verse 19. Confidence. It says confidence in an unfaithful man in time of trouble. Right, and right now, truthfully, America is in a time of trouble. It's not the time of Jacob's trouble, but this is a time of trouble. Inflation's at an all-time high. Or why I say the price of goods is at an all-time high, as the dollar doesn't seem to be. Things don't seem to really be getting any cheaper. Maybe gas is going down ever so slightly. But, foods at the grocery stores are still pretty high. The cost of living is still very high. To go out and grab a bite to eat, still very high. After COVID, seemed that they just justified, raising the prices and never bringing them down. I remember during the, you had over here in the Carolinas, in the East Coast, you had the hackers, who hacked the gas, that took over the gas, something. I can't remember what it was, but it was some hackers. They took over like the gas. Basically gas was $2, The hackers came, they wanted some type of ransom. Prices went all the way up to $3, and then they solved the problem, but gas prices never went back down below $3 ever again after that. It didn't inflate, so it's just like things happen, right? I remember during COVID, you saw a lot of price of foods going up. Certain things that I was getting, right? And the prices never went back down. The prices never go back down. So things, never go back down. The price of rent has not dropped. It is only gone up or stabilized and it's found a new floor. This is the new floor. This is the low it's gonna go. Everything is just continue to go up. In this hyperinflation, in this inflationary situation that we're in. So to put your faith in, Doge and the Department of something agency. I can't remember. I can't remember what it is. It's Department of something agency. If I just look it up real quick, see if I look it up, see what happens. The Doge USD, Dogecoin. Yep, that's all meme. Regardless, I'm going to close out this lesson, but a Department of Government Efficiency. It says Department of Government Efficiency, is supposed to be making the government spending more efficient. Brother should understand that. It's been around for about going on about 4 to 5 weeks now, right? Probably a little. So that's understood, but just want to get that title understood. This is acronym of it. This is Proverbs 25:19. Confidence in an unfaithful man in the time of trouble is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint. Right? So basically a lot of instability for those who trust. You can't really eat, if your foot, if your tooth is out of, if it's broken. It causes a lot of pain to try to chew, try to eat up this man's way. It's going to cause you a lot of pain to fucking trust in this man. To put any type of support or whatever it is and what this man has planned, it's not going to work for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It has never worked. Right? It has failed you all the way. So with that, pray that you're edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. Next I'm going to say, Shalom.